We could hear someone angrily stomping down the opposite hallway to one the Queen and I were coming down, but when we turned to look, the person had gone. How strange, the Queen commented before shrugging. Oh, well, shall we? I nodded but didn't say anything. I was still reeling from our conversation. Actually, my head was still spinning from this whole evening. I found not one but 2 mates, making it 3 in total today. I found out who my mother was. I found out I was a Lycan, and I was finally going to get Ava back. It was all a little much, to be honest. I gripped the strap of my bag and continued to follow Queen Kara down the hallway. We gone back to my Alpha suite after our talk to collect my things, and I was grateful to have Queen Kara with me because Alpha Troy demanded I reject the twins and come back to the pack with them to be with his son, who was angrily marching up and down in the room. I refused again, and Alpha Troy nearly lost his temper, but Luna and the Queen calmed things down. The Queen's guards may have been a factor too in his decision to back off. I was beyond nervous as we passed 2 guards by the front doors, but they smiled and greeted me kindly, so I felt a little more at ease. Finally, we were inside, and Jax's and Coda's scents swam around in the air, and when I left my heart began to race excitedly. How could anyone smell so good and they wanted me? Had I imagined this whole thing? Boys! We're in the bedroom, Coda called out, and I felt butterflies erupt in my stomach. I slowly and nervously followed the Queen down a few hallways and past several beautiful paintings before coming to 2 open doors. We entered through the left one, and I found myself in a massive bedroom with an even bigger bed. Why would I need such a huge bed? Welcome home, Maddie. Coda gave me a breathtaking smile, and I looked down shyly at my feet. How are you feeling after having some time to think? Jax asked as he came over and gently lifted my face up. A little better. Good. Jax smiled and reached for my bag. Here, let me take this. We have prepared the walk-in for you and the middle chest of drawers. Oh, thank you, I said as I looked around again. We'll organize with some of the servants to go collect all of your other belongings from your old pack, Coda told me. We don't want you going back there, not with Scott being a threat. No, it's okay, I told them quickly. I don't want anything I left behind. But what about all of your clothing and trinkets and things? Jax asked. I don't have a lot of clothes. I shrugged and looked around the lavish room. And I only really collected books, but I don't mind losing them. I have my favorite book with me anyway. Fair enough. Coda nodded thoughtfully. We were already planning on taking you shopping tomorrow anyway, so you can get a whole new wardrobe and whatever else you need. I blushed a little as I looked up at him. But I don't have any money for new clothes. Oh dear, don't worry about all of that. Queen Kara waved her hand dismissively. The boys will take care of the cost. It's their duty to take care of you now. If there's anything you want or require, just let them know and they will get it for you. But I couldn't ask them to do that, it's Dash. The discussion is over, Jax said firmly, and I stepped back in surprise. He sounded so intimidating right now, but I also found myself liking his strong demeanor. We will provide you with anything you need. Okay. I blushed and looked away from him. My eyes met with a very pretty girl standing a few feet from us. Oh. Coda stepped closer to me, and I frowned slightly when a strange female scent hit me. I didn't like it, and it made me feel uncomfortable. This is Julia, he told me. She is our head housekeeper, so if you want to know anything about our suite or where something is, or if you just need something, and we're not around, just ask for Julia to help you. Okay. I nodded. Hello. Good evening, Luna. She smiled kindly. It is so lovely to meet you, and I'm so thrilled to have another woman around the home. No offense, Your Majesties. None taken. Coda smirked and shrugged. Everyone fell silent, and I felt a little awkward with everyone here. The Queen must have realized it, because she clapped her hands. Well, she said loudly, I think it's best we leave and let these 3 get to know one another better, Julia. The Queen gestured for the girl to leave first, so she bowed and left the room before the Queen turned back to her sons. The 2 of you had better go slowly with her, she said. I stared at her with wide, embarrassed eyes as my face reddened once more. There are 2 of you and only 1 of her, and you're both alphas. Mother, we don't need you to tell us how to behave with our mate, Coda said patiently. Yes, I think we know what we're doing, Jax added, and I felt the nervous butterflies in my stomach go into a frenzy. Do not backchat me. she said firmly before turning to me and touching my face. Make sure you speak with them before anything happens. They will need to know. Know what? Jax asked, but his mother ignored him and left the room. I felt even more nervous now that it was just the three of us. I didn't know what to say, and I guess the boys felt the same because we just stood there for a second. Do you want to unpack? Jax asked as he placed the bag on a chair and unzipped it. I blushed again and rushed over to the bag, closing it before he could see anything. I had underwear and things inside that I didn't want him to see. I can do it, I told him firmly. Jax, you have embarrassed her. Koda shook his head as he came over to us. You can unpack later. What do we need to know, Maddie? Koda ran his fingers through my hair, but I cringed away from him when the scent of another woman filled my senses. What's wrong? Koda stepped back in confusion. Did I hurt you? Why do you smell like that? I asked, and I noticed Jax glared angrily at his brother, who looked a little nervous. It's nothing, he told me, but I could hear his heart beating a little faster. I was just speaking with a friend before you showed up. A female friend? Koda looked at Jax for a second before turning back to me. Yes, but it's nothing, really. Koda touched my cheek, but I slapped his hand away. Don't touch me, I ordered, and he looked very panicked now. I don't want to smell like her. I didn't understand where this rage was coming from, or this sudden burst of bravery. What the hell was I doing? I just yelled at a prince. Maddie, please, it's really nothing, I swear. Who is she? She's no one. Jax reached out and gently touched my arm, but I backed away from him too. Answer me. The end. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in the rest of the story, there's a link below.